AC is up on platform here. We're going to get that off of the house and set it in the rocks here. Doing a furnace and air and a new zone panel on this one. Pretty big air compared to the old one. Another reason why we're taking the bracket off the house. Corey made metal a couple days ago. Base, new boot, plenum. We got the Lennox 90,000 taken out of here, putting in an 80 with a new zone panel. We got the old Honeywell. We're putting in a two-stage variable because he's got zoning. Always try and do that if they're receptive to it. That way we can set up the panel so it only goes into high fire when both zones are calling. Humidifier stand. Fix up the looks of this drain line system. It's kind of a mess there. The new inducer we put in here a couple years ago. Alright, I'm going to get to it. So, always eyeball your low voltage wires. We got an air exchanger tied in here somewhere. This is our equipment coming from the board. Looks like they don't have that grounded properly, so we'll have to get that mounted. Humidifier was mounted to that. We may just use that right on our low voltage hum terminal instead of through that transformer. And then this must be, yep, the G from the air exchanger is going to the G on the board. And then we got R and G from the air exchanger. G is blue from the air exchanger, goes to the furnace board, and then green goes up to the panel. And then we got our Y and C from the air conditioner. And our equipment, W, Y, and R. We had that AC up on this platform here, the bracket on the wall, so we got rid of that. We got it set on the ground here. Our line set is marked right there. So I'm just going to hack that off. That 3/4, we took out a little 2.5. We're putting in a 3.5 here. So I'm going to slip the 7/8 over that and bend it in there. And we just got to add a little bit onto that. We'll have to move the saver switch over because that's not going to reach. This electrical will reach just fine. That's a little bit of pressure we got flowing that nitrogen, about 4 psi. Just setting the fan speed here. So we got the 80, 17, 16. We got 3.5 ton air out there. I'm going to set it up for 350 CFM per ton. I realize that's 1225. But at 0.5 with these settings right here, we're going to move 1245. So I had to change dip switch on SW2 there. We turned 6 and 8 off and left 7 on, like it says right there. So in the summer months, Obviously, we're not going to be running anything in the basement. We got to walk out here, but it's going to be freezing all summer like every basement is in Minnesota. So we got the 2 first floor ducts, 2 12x8 ducts, which are going to move 1225 CFM at 350 per ton, hopefully. So that was my only concern with upsizing the AC on this one, was not having enough airflow through that first floor ductwork, but it looks like it's just perfect, so see what happens. Getting it done here. Corey's cutting a hole. We're gonna put our pads on. Sweep this up. I just cut that off a little bit for the boot. So we're gonna mount this boot on here. You ready to roll on that?
Yeah, let me, we can do, want to do the pads first or want to do the boot?
Yeah, go ahead. Getting pretty good at that.
Who?
You.
Yeah, we can make it a 2.
Ready to slap that boot on, Corey?
We're getting it on right now.
Alrighty. Baby all put together except for the plenum. Corey is caulking the coil to the furnace. Plenum right here. Says back. Screw that baby down. Slide her in there. The height's looking pretty good. The guy who measured did a good job, and the guy who made it did a good job, apparently. Hopefully. See how it goes in. Okay, we got the AC soldered in. He's pressure testing out there right now. I don't hear anything. Of course, we flowed nitrogen. And making sure we're just a hair high in the back here so secondary doesn't hold water. So that's looking good. Gonna mount a box on the side over here. I'm gonna hack off the exhaust, come right through here and down. And if I can, I'm gonna get that intake to come into this hole right here. Put a T on the bottom of that because we know it takes in water in the summertime. Put a board on the wall here, mounted our zone panel. Corey got that all buttoned up. He's working on the last bit of drain lines here. We fixed this whole mess over here. Still got a low spot, so it's got airlock there. Tied them together, teed them into the humidifier. Came around. We got the AC with the 3/4 inch. Just gotta put a couple screws in this intake. Get our drain on the intake. We need a sniff.
Yes, please. Thank you.
It's in the literature rack. Okay, we're checking our combustion here. We're in high fire. We got 22 parts per million of CO. Temperature rise. We got 3.4 inches of water column. 116 on the supply, and the return was, we'll just say 75. So that's right at the low end of our temp rise, and this is climbing a little bit. 117, so just say 42 on the high fire temp rise. I'm gonna print this. That looks real good. And I'm gonna go shut off. We got this set up for percent zones here at the panel, so that means when I go turn the temp down at the basement stat, we're gonna drop into low fire here. Okay, she's in low fire now, 1.5. We'll change that to, that's what it says on the valve. 1.5, we'll just leave it there. Temp rise. So that dropped down to heat 1, first floor, zone 1. Calling for heat, so it's in first stage, low fire. So we got about the same temp rise in low fire. That's about it. I'm gonna get one more video with all the doors on. Humidifier, better check that. Yeah. Static pressure and high fire is 0.25. That's really good. And low fire was 0.2. That almost seems like something stuck open. It did change a little bit though. Yeah. All we gotta do is check out the air. Put the cover on the zone panel. Okay, so we got the last, check it out, we got the cool on the first floor, and our static pressure with the AC running is 0.33, so we're real happy about that. And I'm just going to tape up all my holes here and head out. The AC didn't get much video time today, but she sure looks good. Nice and solid. Checking her out, charging her up.